Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all the way. If you keep on the sunny side of life.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hill and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hill and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Well, it's that time of year again. And thank you for taking a couple minutes to just watch this midweek video. Now I want you to remember that we are having, I am teaching on Wednesday nights now at 6:30. And you'd be welcome to come to that as well if you listen to this. But I want to talk to you about as we move toward Christmas. And by the way, remember, Christmas is on a Sunday this year, so Christmas Eve service, 7 o'clock on Saturday night, candlelight service, and then indoors, warm and all that stuff. And then Christmas Day, one service at 11 o'clock, and it's going to be a very special service that Pastor Mike's putting together, and it'll be a lot of fun. And it's a family-friendly thing, so there's not childcare, but it'll be something the kids will really have fun, doesn't matter how old they are. They can run around, whatever they want to do. I want to talk to you about Christmas, and I am talking more about this on Sunday, but about giving. But I want to ask the question, and I want you to think about it a little bit. Are you a giver or are you a taker? Now, I think if we're really honest, we're all a mix, aren't we? Probably even at our most holy moments, there's a little bit of selfishness in all of us. But overall, what side of that question do you end up on? Now, we're all a little bit self-deluded. Every man's ways are right in their own eyes. I know that sometimes I don't see it. Oftentimes I don't see it. But this is a very important question to ask yourself, to examine yourself on. And not just for Christmas, but for a godly life all year round. And here's why. Think about it. Romans 8:32 says it like this. It says, "He who did not spare his own son, but delivered him up for us all, will he not also with him freely give us all things?" God is a giver. God gives to us. God doesn't need anything from us. So everything that proceeds out of him is purely an act of love. It's selfless in itself. If you want to be like God, if you want to become godly and more conformed to his image, you must learn to give like God in a human-sized way. Obviously, you and I, we have limits. We have limited resources and limited time, but in the context of our humanity, we have to learn and we have to practice giving if we're going to be like God. Now, how can you contrast these warring ideas between being a giver or a taker? How do you do that? How do you contrast these tendencies? Well, I'd say one, let me just throw a couple of contrasts out there. Number one, givers are self-forgetting, and takers are self-calculating, scorekeepers. You know, someone one time said it beautifully, I don't remember who, but they said you can give without loving, but you can't love without giving. It is easy to give, and this is the time of year where giving, there's all kinds of giving done for all kinds of reasons. Some of them are love, and some of them are, other motivations or some mixture. Guilt, hubris, we don't want to be outshone, but a giver is self-forgetting because it's an act of love. First Corinthians 13:5 says, love does not act unbecomingly. Listen, it does not seek its own. I do agree with some translations will say love takes no thought of itself. Love isn't just selfless. It isn't just unselfish. It doesn't even think about itself. Love does not seek its own. Givers give in a self-forgetting way. But takers are always calculating what they get out of it. It might be gifts. I wonder what they're going to give me. Or, wow, I gave them that nice gift and they gave me a $5 gift card. Not even a gallon of gas sometimes. It might be you're calculating how much praise or attention, or maybe it's going to give you an opportunity, or maybe it's going to give you some leverage with somebody. It's a charm. Or maybe you're deep down seeking affirmation or appreciation. And this isn't just at Christmas time. This is a lot of times we do things for people and secretly we're kind of keeping score. It's incredibly easy to be two-faced. And, it's no problem. I'm fine with doing it. I just love to serve the Lord. This is really what I do. And then when it's all over, backstabbing and complaining and grumbling about how overused that person maybe have been. This is easy to happen. So remember, if we're going to cultivate giving, we better understand this contrast. And givers are very different kinds of being. Givers are self-forgetting, and takers are self-calculating. This is important. Second thing is, givers look for needs. They look for the needs around them. They're sensitive to that. They're paying attention. They're listening. Takers just complain about their wants. Givers look for needs. Takers complain about their wants. Now, we can all fall into either one of these, sadly. But you ought to see it. You ought to pay attention to this, because this is really, really way more obvious than we'd like to admit. You will see what you look for. And so if you're looking for needs, you'll see needs. Now, you can't meet every need, but you can ask God for the sensitivity, and he might put you in touch with people that maybe can meet a need. 1 John says it like this about disciples like you and I, for those of you that claim to be followers of Jesus. In 1 John 3:16, we know love by this, that he laid down his life for us.